had never even put my hand on a camera before ever, and here I am shooting Super 8 of like the best of the best when it comes to snowboarding, from Terry to Gooch to Jamie to, I mean, you name it. And I'm just like this kid just with these cartridges, just like putting them in and hoping that my exposure's right. And yeah, we would process the film, and you know, we'd go through it with the viewer, and we'd see that there was we'd be like, hell yeah, there's something there, like we can see something, like cool, okay, what is it, you know? And then we'd go through and we'd literally cut the film, and we'd have these cardboard boxes in Woolie's apartment. So it was like the whole movie was like these cardboard boxes all over the place that we numbered, you know, each cardboard box like 1 to 100 basically. So we'd have these, I mean, each shot was probably about, I don't know, a foot and a half to 2 feet long. We literally would resplice it back together into the A-reels. So then we'd have these A-reels that we'd take into transfer, because there was no way we couldn't afford transferring all the film, so we had to cut it ourselves. So we were literally with like white gloves and glue. What an incredible experience. I had no idea that, I mean, I had no idea what we were actually doing and how crazy it was at the time. Because I mean, we went through a year plus of just like filming and just getting the most incredible, you know, imagery and whatnot. And yeah, we could have really messed that up.
You know, we were living in Laguna, and it was a full star-studded cast down there. It was Jason Steris, myself, Gooch was living with us, Parillo was living with us, and then one day, Jamie showed up, and literally the guy never left. You know, he just magnetized to it, and we were, you know, he brought something to the puzzle. It was just that extra piece that we needed in there, and it just meshed, and it was a really good marriage. It wasn't even like a team deal, you know, it was like a family deal. And so when Volcom talks of Volcom family, I mean, it's not bullshit. We were tight, and we lived together, and we partied together, and we traveled together, and we worked together, and the venue was a lot more relaxed back then, and so ideas and creativity was you know, embraced, and I think a lot of that energy shows in the foundation of the company, you know.
I guess you got to give like Richard Woolcott a lot of credit, because he's taken that surf mentality of an adventure of just like, hey, loading up in the truck and going. There wasn't a beginning or an end to the trip, which I think which made it really special, is that everyone was just there. It wasn't like I got a flight. It just kept extending itself to Jamie showing up. And then as the sessions kind of wore on, from where our camp was, there was one wind lip across the ridge that you could see. And there's actually a shot in the movie that kind of zooms in from the campground across the valley to where that jump was. And I think it is how it was, is that we hiked across the classic like springtime, where you walk across the river in the morning when there's no water flow. And then you ride all day, and you come back at 5, and it's like 70 degrees, and there's just like 4 feet of raging water. And I think there's actually a shot of Jamie too, like standing on a rock, just like trying to figure out how everyone gets across. So pretty special time out there. There's like a cab 9 and a front side 3 that he does off this wind lip. And if I remember correctly, it was like, he said it was the first cab 9 that he grabbed. So like, I mean, there's like little things that kind of stick in your head there. A lot of that art that's on the poster is all like inspired from like actual daily events, you know, that really kind of, I mean, spearheaded Parillo's brain.
We would just come up with ideas and build it. I built a whole set with the mountains, and there was so much handmade stuff going on. I made all the titles by hand and floated them in the pool and shot them. I mean, there's a ton. Even the hand in the very beginning where it says 100% handmade, that was my hand. There was something about it that you could just tell. Like we were all really proud of it, but there was just something different that came out of that we just kind of knew it was going to be around, that it was going to would be seen. And all these years later, I mean, it's funny to watch the writing in it, but still, all these years later, there's still something about it that's like really captures the moment really well.
I think they were really good. The media format with Super 8 and 16 mil, it really gave you this, you always have a personal connection to Super 8 reels because of the whole movie feel of your youth. It's a dated way now of filming something, but it gives you an archival, historic feel and sense to it. Choosing that medium to film the movie really gave you that handmade, hand-done feel, as if we were just on a family vacation and Dad was there with the Super 8 camera capturing the antics, you know, and there's an endearing sense to that. And I think that project in particular captured that essence. It just seemed natural. Then you get together the group of people that we had the chance to experience it with, and it's definitely a family gathering.
Just that whole time period with like Brian and Mike Parillo and Jamie and Steve Graham, like those guys were so solid. I don't know, the whole snowboard world at that time were just very, everybody was living a complete expression of the art of life, really. I think the beauty of that time period is everybody got to really be, they got to be focused on the moment, just what they were doing, nothing to worry about. The time was very free and everybody got to express themselves very uniquely. And I think that the person that most exemplified that was Jamie. To me, when I first got to start shooting or whatever with Jamie, I was looking up at him as our Mark Gonzalez from snowboarding.
You know, he's such a great person to be around. I mean, just a thoughtful, kind, you know, generous human that just, you know, and the energy, you know, just so down for a session, you know, just always, you know, always creative and, you know, inspired, and, you know, very chill and humble. You know, I just loved hanging out with him. You know, it's like, you know, it was always such a blessing to go on a trip or, you know, connect. Yeah.